Now, how did I turn a song that sounded like this and turn it into a song like this?
Master, Savior, Lord of my life, use me.
Well, if you like that, stick around and I will show you what I did. Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is your boy, Perry Walker, aka Don Walker. And what you heard there was a remix of a song that a talented lady in my church congregation had written several years ago that I mixed, and it went through several different evolutions before I came to remixing it in 2026. Now, little history on the song. Now, the song was originally written to be a contemporary gospel sort of CCM thing, right? But the reverend who did the music arrangement to the original sound put sort of a funk old school type of vibe to it. Almost kind of sound like Thriller in a way, right? And I think that's what he was kind of going for, that Michael Jackson sound. And then I took it and put some like disco drums. Now, I don't have the original mix because I had changed computers. I think I did this mix, the original mix, in somewhere around 2012, maybe. That's a long time ago, right? Like 14 years ago. But anyhow, the congregation did like it. They loved it. But when I listened to it the other day, I said, man, I wonder how it would sound if I ran it through Suno. And that's when I came up with this.
Consecrated, Lord, where I want to be. Every moment, every day, for life, use me. Master, Savior, Lord of my life, use me.
Now, I know a lot of people have beef against using AI. Some call it cheating, and some say a whole lot of other things, right? Saying that you're copying off other people's music. Well, if anything, I would be accused of copying off of a mix and a music arrangement that myself and the original creator did. And like I said, the song was written by a talented songwriter in our congregation, Debbie Walker. And we're going to be releasing the Suno version of it Valentine's Day. It comes out. And, I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below so that those of you who are interested can pre-save it, click on it, and check it out. It's a really good song. And this is my argument about using AI, that if you use it to spice up some of your old mixes, I don't see any issues with that, or maybe even use it as mostly for getting background vocals. That's what I mainly use it for now anyway, since Suno changed a lot of things. But I'm not worried about the copyright of the song I did in Suno because the original is copywritten and I modeled the song off of the original. So even though this performance may be different, it's like I still own it. We still own it, not me, but everyone that contributed to it. But let me show you how true Suno kept this. I'm going to start the original from the beginning, and then I'm going to start Suno's beginning or intro of the song. Okay, so here's the original intro. Kind of a mixture. You can hear a mixture of that funk, that disco, and some EDM, right? And to be quite honest, I kind of like the intro of the older one better. And hopefully I'm not being biased. It's just that it adds a little bit more groove and a little bit more mystery because I'm copying the long play form of the 70s type of songs. If any of you have listened to songs or albums from the 70s, from soul music, particularly artists like Barry White, he had a lot of long orchestral intros. Now, here's the intro to what I did with Suno.
Use me. Use me. Lord, I'm poor and needy, and my heart is hurting deep within. Deep inside I cry. Can you hear my cry? Here I am, my child. Dry your eyes. Here I am, my child. Dry your eyes. You prepared my heart. Remove those things that should not be, so that I can be used by you. Lord, after all you've done.
The intro, as you can hear, I mean, depending on which aisle you swing on, I thought it was cool. I thought Suno did a pretty good job. I think, I tried several times to try to kind of get something closer to what the original was, but it did a good job. It didn't add an EDM sound to it, but it's the typical soul house sound, which I think is easier on the listeners. And in comparison with the original, when the original drops, the main beat just kicks in. When the song drops on the remake, it starts with the singing. It doesn't get to, it doesn't get to that funky drop until after a certain part. Let me see if I can find it.
Savior, Lord of my life, use me. Consecrated, Lord.
Okay, and let me go back to the original again. And as you can hear, it has that organ, has that, maybe some of you will say, well, man, it sounds a little bit more organic. And yeah, I even added some sort of a modern mastering effect. Let me let you hear what that sounds like. See what Ozone did. I still had to do some mastering, light mastering. What I have here on this, the maximizer, the master rebalance, and dynamics. Master rebalance, I pumped the drums up to 2 dB because the drums weren't hitting hard at all. So let me mute that and let you hear what it sounds like without the mastering.
Lord, I'm poor and needy.
Let me skip.
Can you prepared my heart, remove those things that should not be, so that I can be used by you.
You'll hear it when the drums come in.
Lord, after all you've done,
I'm gonna bring each plug-in one by one.
giving your only son, I just wanna say, Lord, here I am. Use me, take my life, it's yours to do your will.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring in this. I had to drop some of that high end because Suno does some weird stuff at the high end. I put a multi-band there to kind of control it a little bit better. I'm not pumping it loud, I just matching the sound. 12 lux. I don't think it needs to be pushed harder than that. Then the maximizer.
Remove those things that should not be, so that I can be used by you, by you, by you, by you, by you, by you, by you. Consecrated Lord, where I want to be, every moment, every day.
Yeah, I matched it pretty close. The maximizer kind of add a little bit more depth, fast, and loud. So, I mean, it definitely added something to the Suno track. Now, like I tell a lot of people that use these AI generated tools, AI isn't quite there yet. And sometimes you're going to have, well, most of the time, you're going to have to do something extra, either with the stereo file or split them in stems. I really don't like the stem split function in Suno because it adds some really weird artifacts on top of the other artifacts it already has in it. And I use Serato Studio to split things. And I'm gonna have a different video about that later. But anyhow, I just wanted to show how I took an old mix and remixed it with Suno, which is being released, right up there. I'll leave the link in the description below so that you guys can show your support and check it out. But anyhow, if you dig what I was doing, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to follow my journey, subscribe to my channel and feel free to leave a comment. Just if you are against AI, let's not argue in the comments. I understand the argument against it. Trust me, I do. But I also believe, just like other technological advancements from the drum machine to the sampler and to certain vocal processings, even to the modern DAWs and the mastering suites, they're just tools. Nothing's going to hamper the human creative part of it because it still takes a human to guide all of these tools. Some tools are more on autopilot than others, but still it takes human input to do any of this because, as the old saying says, you cannot polish a turd, no matter how much technology you use to rub it and polish it. A turd is still going to be a turd. But anyhow, I'm going to get on out of here. Until the next time I see you on the next one, Don Walk, peace.